Yo, what is good, everybody? And today, on a cool 6 in the morning, as I'm making this video, this should have been out about a day ago because that's when the patch notes were here. But I had to record it again because the last one that I did, I didn't really cover a lot, and I spent a lot of time talking. So it didn't. A lot of stuff didn't get said. But I have a little bit more energy now. We're going to go ahead and dive into these. We're not going to waste any time. I do have some gameplay playing in the background of Withering Waves for just so you can, speed things up a little bit faster. It's not a lot of gameplay, just, going through the story, but we're going to hop straight up into this. We're here to check out the First Descendant update 1.3.12. We're going to go ahead and dive into this. We have a new infiltration operation called Forbidden Sanctuary. It is located in Anxian Plains. It gives all the same stuff. We have the weeklies, just like Supermassive Receptor. It's the same thing with that. You have to do that 10 times. You get Riven mods every single go, and then you complete the weekly for there. Cell box D, you have obtained one of the corrosive overshield mutant cells, which is the newer ones. You can also obtain Ultimate Eugen's parts from here. You can obtain a 5% drop chance with each. You can also obtain his newest transcendent module called Combat Protocol and Battlefield Medic. Same thing goes for there. I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. The newest descendant, obviously I said, with Ultimate Eugen, they changed his kit up so it doesn't buff other teammates. You have to actively put on a trans mod in order to do that, in order to buff other teammates. So think of Eugen like Luna a little bit. So you know how Ultimate Luna has a buff mod that she can use, and then she has a damage mod that she can use for herself. It says right here, it says that skill module 1 combat protocol, as Eugen max HP increases, skill cooldown decreases. Eugen can attach a drone to assist in battle. Some skills consume HP to unleash powerful effect. Eugen can no longer buff allies, but effects that strengthen Eugen himself increase. The skill module 2, Battlefield Medic, Eugen gains bonding energy when buffing allies. The higher Eugen's bonding energy level, the higher his skill critical hit rate and multiplier. Eugen can consume bonding energy to enhance himself and allies while significantly lowering enemies' attribute resistance. They've changed his kit up a lot, so you'll kind of be seeing that a little bit there. Moving on, we also have a new Colossus called Grim Reaper. This is based off of Deathstalker, so all you Deathstalker fans out there, because I know you guys are out there, you guys would love this boss. We have 3 new trigger modules called Infected Weapon. Basically, hitting an enemy with a continuous damage skill inflicts arcane infection. Using a unique weapon skill to strike a target inflicted with arcane infection deals additional damage. Ground eruption, while attacking an enemy with a ground dot skill, striking it with a global dot skill deals additional damage. Additional damage applies to Colossus, elites, commanders, and tyrant type enemies. Instant acceleration is the third module. Trigger module grants a movement speed based on the effect upon ending using of a movement restricted skill. Also have a new lounge area, so more of the lounge can be expanded. We also have it's a bar and a garden, and then a new equipment room, figurine display room, and a technical equipment room. Also moving forward, we have 4 new modules for the sword. These are, I think, ultimate modules for the sword. There's 4 of them. When using normal attacks with the sword, it increases the critical hit damage by 71% with a 20-second cooldown. but when defeating an enemy with this attack module, it lowers the cooldown and cuts it down by 20. The other one, called Overpowered, when using special attacks, melee weapon critical hit damage increases by 37.7% for 5 seconds. Eye of Morvald, when landing a critical hit, melee weapon critical hit damage increases by 49.9% for 5 seconds. When landing a critical hit while the effect is active, deals additional damage equal to 12% to the melee weapon attack to the target. Cooldown is 20 seconds. The last one is called Execution. When using normal attacks hit with this melee weapon critical hit damage increase by 71% with a 20-second cooldown. The that same thing that the other ones do. When defeating an enemy with this attack module, it cuts down the cooldown by 20 seconds. We also have one new mutant cell called Corrosive Overshield. It's a Zaniac socket type. When attacking with an Overshield type skill, grants corrosion barrier to self, duration 10 seconds, and toxic skill power increased by 22%. They also added a new skin for the Grim Reaper. I'll have a picture popped up there to see it. Just like the other Colossus skins. We also have one new external component set. If you put on it's called Sprint Accelerator. If you put on a 2 set, you get a fire resistance of 7%. If you have a full 4 set on, when maintaining a sprint speed of 1,450 or higher, grants sprint acceleration 1 stack up to 5 stacks, lasts for 3 seconds. While Sprint Accelerator is active, dealing damage with continuous damage type skills convert the effect to Accelerator Release up to 5 stacks, has a 30-second duration. Accelerator Release increases electric skill power by 6.4%. When dealing damage with electric skills at 5 stacks of Acceleration Release, restores MP equal to 5% of max MP. Cooldown is 5 seconds. Basically another external component for Bunny. We also have decorated with winter theme. It will be, the maintenance has been long past already. We also have some descendant rebalance / improvements. The skill performance displayed is based on the level 4 skill. For Ajax, for his base common kit, the MB cost of Ajax's skill has been reduced by approximately 30%. Existing skill damage, include that from modification modules, has been reduced by approximately 30%. However, damage can be increased up to 2.6 times depending on defense. Arcane types of Ajax's default skills have been changed across the board. We also have, for a little change in Event Horizon, one of his skills, for his stage 1, fire rate 20%. Fire rate has been decreased from 20% to 15%. Explosive attack increased from 50% to 40%. And a new cooldown reduction is 20%. With his stage 2, fire rate 10% to 20%. And then explosive attack increase from 50 to unchanged, so they left that alone. Cooldown reduction to 10% to 20%. From his stage 3, fixed fire rate is at 25%. Explosive attack is increased to 50 to 60%. Cooldown reduction is still the same for 20%. For his orbit barrier, the arcane type has been changed from dimension to tech. The calculation method for reflection damage has been changed. Based on the skill power modifier, reflection damage can increase up to 2.6 times depending on defense. The barrier's attribute resistant tooltips has been changed for per attribute to all attributes combined. Reflection damage skill power times 448%. Enhanced reflection damage skill power times 883%. Damage increase from defense times 0.05% for his damage increase. Max damage increase is 160%. inflicts void leakage on enemies that touch or attack the barrier. Attacking a target inflicted with void leakage grant void acceleration to Ajax. If Ajax's rounds per magazine reaches 0 while void acceleration is in effect, Ajax immediately reloads and deals additional damage that scales with defense when attacking with a firearm. Additional damage when attacking with firearm explosive, and explosive damage times damage multiplier. Damage multiplier and defense times 0.07%, and max damage multiplier of 224%. We have for his Void Walk, damage skill power times 212.4% has been decreased to 1,438.6%. He's getting a lot of decreases for his skills, which is really bad. I do not know what they're going to be doing with this. Damage increase, defense times 0.05% to his max damage increases 160%. For his explosion skill, using this skill now applies taunt to the enemy within a 10-meter radius. Base effects, damage skill power times 3,314.1% has been decreased to 2,2349.8%. Enhanced damage for his explosion skill for his modifier has been decreased from 5,403.3% to 3,812.3%. For his damage increase, it's the exact same as Voidwalker, 0.05%, and the max damage is increased the same way. For his Hypercube, the barrier attribute resistant tooltip has been changed from per attribute to all attributes combined. Applies a defense boost buff to allies and an attack reduction debuff to enemies inside the barrier. Attack decreased to 20%, defense increased to 50%. And as for his modification module, from Void Explosion to Focus, they changed up the number for that. They changed up the name for that. It says right here for that, it says when using skill, Ajax now deals damage to nearby enemies and gains 8 stacks of Void Explosion in addition to Explosion effect. When used in enhanced skill, Ajax gains 8 stacks of Void Overload. While under the Void Explosion effect, using a melee weapon to attack an enemy inflicted with Void Leakage causes an explosion. While under the Void Overload effect, using a melee weapon to attack an enemy inflicts with Void Leakage, causing a chain of explosions on all enemies with Void Leakage. Triggering this effect reduces the stack of Void Explosion and Void Overload by 1. Base effect RN. The damage for it is 2,349.8% times skill power. 3,000 for enhanced damage, 3,812.3% times skill power. For damage increase is 0.05% times defense. For max damage increase is 160. For void explosion is the exact same thing. The only thing that has been changed here is the damage range, and additional skill attack, which is the same. Modification module matrix recomputation, I think I'm saying that right, has been changed. Arcane type has been changed from dimension to tech. Using this skill now applies taunt to enemies within a 10-meter radius. For the modification for void charge, explosion, the archetype has been changed, obviously, to the tech and dimension again. The formula for the damage proportional to defense has been changed. Existing skill damage has been reduced by approximately 30%. However, damage can increase up to 2.6 times depending on defense. The maximum damage multiplier is the same, but the defense damage modifier for void charge module is applied at 0.08%. Different from the base value. Modification module for body enhancement. has been changed. The archetype has been changed from tech to dimension. Same with explosion from tech to dimension. For modification module for life barrier to mobile fortress, from orbital barrier to rotating barrier, creates two small rotating barriers around Ajax. The rotating barriers do not block enemy attacks but instead absorb 50% of damage to Ajax, dealing reflection damage to enemies that touch the barrier or attack Ajax and inflict void leakage. Base effect for reflection damage is 448% times skill power. Enhanced reflection damage, 883% times skill power. Same thing with damage increase and max damage increase. Is the same as rotation damage is 2 meters in radius. Change from hypercube to mobile fortress. The sphere the spherical barrier of hypercube changed to a form that follows Ajax. We also have for his modification module void barrier, barrier charge explosion. Orbit barrier skill has been changed to barrier charge, and Ajax creates a barrier and charges towards an enemy, knocking back all the enemies in its path and dealing damage. Inflicts void leakage on all enemies within charge range. Explosion is a change to a void explosion. When used in additional to original effect or explosion, it deals damage to nearby enemies and grants 4 stacks of void explosion. When using an enhanced skill, 4 stacks of void overload are granted. While void overload is active, attacking an enemy inflicted with void leakage with a melee weapon triggers a chain of explosions on all enemies inflicted with void leakage. When this effect is triggered, 1 stack of void explosion and void overload is consumed. When void explosion is active, attacking an enemy inflicted with void leakage with a melee weapon triggers an explosion. Okay, moving on to Eugen. Integration of Eugen's skill modules along with the improvement of Eugen's skill, the first aid kit and efficient treatment skill modules have been disabled. First aid kit and efficient treatment module skill can no longer be obtained in-game. Dismantling these modules will refund 100% of the golden Kuiper shards used. If these modules are equipped, they must manually removed before disassembling, although only Kuiper shards are displayed under currency providing upon dismantling on your dismantle screen. If you also receive gold when dismantling these modules, the function of first aid kit and efficient treatment skill modules have been integrated into duty and sacrifice and flow filtering allergy modules as followed. They also adjusted the performance of some of his skills. For his stop overreacting skill, additional remedy effect, movement speed plus 40% has been added. Solitary healing, he can now use while sprinting. Increase the drone attached to ally from 20 meters to 30 meters. Lowered the MP cost for the drone from 40 to 20. Decrease the drone duration from 10 seconds to 5 seconds. And for his accelerant, they actually increased the duration from 5 to 10 second of duration. Firearm attack from 35.5% to 35%. Skill power from 23% to 35%, and movement speed is increased by 30%. Restructuring serum. It can now be used while sprinting once again. Lower down the MP cost from 32 to 16. Incoming damage for his allergy is increased by 10% to 15%. Added 20% to his critical hit, firearm critical hit resistant reduction. Same thing with skill. His Stimulant spray added categories of firing enhancement, arcade enhancement, and cannot be used while sprinting, and effects also apply to Eugen. Cooldown is increased from 60 seconds to 75 seconds, and MP cost is lowered by 55 to 45. With his firearm skill, critical hit increased from 15%. His hyper reactive healing ground, it can now be used while sprinting once again. Increased the firearm critical hit damage by 22%, skill damage by 40. First aid kit for duration from 5 to 8 seconds of duration. And movement speed can be increased per stack by 8% per stack up to 40%. Toxic resistance increase per stack from 4.5% to a full 10%. The calculation method has changed to additional so far for stacked. The absolute value increased by 50%. Moving on to, I think that's all covered for Eugen. Moving on to Viessa, increased her MP at level 40 to 187 to 300. Increased her critical hit rate for her skill from 15 to 20%. Increased her damage multiplier from 1.2 to 1.4. We also have a 8,000 damage when attacking Colossus or Commander. We also have a damage increase, fire rate and targeting speed have been increased, and damage have been increased from 200 to 500. Explosion damage from 200 to 500 again. Frost shards have been increased from 900 to 1,000. Explosion damage from 900 to 1,000. Frost Road now increases 3% recovery per second, up to 5% recovery per second. Cold Snap does now do an increase of 3,000 damage to 6,000 damage. Blizzard from continuous 1,000 to 2,000. Explosion upon Blizzard, 3,000 to 4,000. For Glacial Cloud, from continuous damage from 1,000 to 2,000, and explosion damage from 3,000 to 4,000. Adjusted some performance with hypothermia. Has now an additional attack when attacking Colossus / Commander of 8,000. Increase the duration of Ice Needle so it lasts longer from 5 seconds to 7 seconds. Also increase the fire rate of targeting speed has been increased. Damage from 200 to 500 on impact of explosion, 200 to 500 from Ice Needle from stage 1, 100 to 95.7%. From stage 2, 100 to 200. From stage 3, 200 to 252.3%. And from last stage 4, from 200 to 278.5%. For her Frost Roads, for the damage is increased from 1,000 to 1,202.7% upon explosion damage. The same number for damage upon shards. For everything else, it seems like it's the exact same thing for her base kit. Yeah, I think that's a little bit it. All it is just some adding in the new attack versus Colossus, giving her double the damage, and then changed her cold cohesion passive from tech to fusion. Moving on to Freyna. This is a big one too. Freyna's contagious links intervals from 1 second to 0.8 seconds. Duration has been increased by 10 seconds to 8 seconds. From her toxic puddles of damage intervals from 1 second to 8 seconds. For her duration is a toxic puddle from 5 seconds to 4. Damage intervals of toxic reaction from 1 second to 0.8 seconds, and duration of toxic reaction from 10 seconds has been decreased to 8 seconds. They also lowered down her venom trauma from 1 second to 8 seconds, and duration of panic from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Also increased the duration of defense mechanism for her plague body armor by plus 30%. Putrid venom is now that is the mutant cell for her. It's now been added to the slow category. They lowered a lot of her toxic swamp from 12 seconds to 9.6 seconds, 8 seconds to 6.4 seconds, and decreased the duration of decay. For her Venom Baptism unique weapon, additional damage skill power to 1,000 to 1,764.6%, increase the max bullet by 45 to 50, increase the duration of her fourth to 10 seconds to 15 seconds, and damage intervals of nightmare from 1 second to 0.8 seconds, duration to nightmare from 5 seconds to 4, grants additional buffs based on the number of weapon cores currently equipped. So she gets, if she has on one core, if you have one core on your weapon, she has a skill power modifier of 30%. For the second one is fire rate 30%. For a third one is skill effect range plus 50%. And for 4, it's rounds per magazine plus 80%. And then for the fifth core, it's damage reduction plus 20%. I think that is it for Freyna. Moving on to Valby. Her water intake is now changed to a 4% max shield recovery per second, and damage reduction increased by 20%. Her bubble bullet has now been added to the slow category. Her bubble bullet damage did before 400 damage to 800 damage now. Range increased per count from 15% to 20%. Laundry movement speed from negative 20%. Her plop skill has been added to slow category. Her damage intervals of Big Puddle has been lowered from 1 second to 0.8 seconds. Movement speed for laundry speed has been has a negative 20% increase. Her cleanup ability, damage reduction of liquefy from 50 to 30%. Damage interval of waterways from 1 second to 0.8 seconds. Laundry movement speed from negative 20%. She also scales with cores. It's the same thing for Freyna. Her unique weapon
Discords attack other living beings because they need to feed on those frequencies to make themselves whole again. When frequencies are scattered and recombined, a new tacit discord is born. This one probably devoured the frequencies of humans, turning the last bits of a human's consciousness into such monotonous mumbles. Are these words the last cries of someone innocent? Who is behind this twisted plot?
Tidal wave explosion damage from increased to 900 to 1,401%.
I'm sorry.
Damage increase per entity, 50%.
That's beyond my ability.
To 20%.
I just sense some complex feelings from it.
20%.
A mixture of deep sadness and eager anticipation. Rover, I think I know what's going on here. It seems to be begging for help, but it's not asking us to help it. I can sense the pained cries of this tacit discord. No, the cries of this whole village. The village is crying, waiting for rescue.
Increase the damage for her.
Something truly awful must have happened here. And the victim's reverberations still linger. Based on the evidence we've found and the condition of these ruins, that didn't happen all too long ago.
And
I can still feel it in the streams.
Archetype from
perhaps the tacit field has kept this village from being discovered. Or maybe someone has been intentionally concealing it.
And they changed up some stuff for Luna.
There must be something we can do. We may find the victims nearby. I can feel someone connected to what happened here is still close. This place is dangerous.
For synchronization value,
I'll inform Shuzia about what happened here. Can we continue our search before the official investigators arrive? Sorry, I know it doesn't sound very convincing. It's just a hunch of mine, and I don't have any evidence to back it up. Thank you, Rover. Please stay vigilant. As for the little one here, let's leave it be.
To 0.841, Eugen 1.313 to a 0.891, Freyna 1092 to 1021.
The area is a mess,
1213
but it doesn't look like a war zone. Someone was hurt and dragged away.
To 1063. And that is it for the characters.
There are many footprints here.
The rest of this
These are traces left by a fight. Someone was injured.
Going on, so that means you log in for 56 days in total, and you get those events.
These cards.
It's a skin for, I think.
I see. The Fraxidus is likely behind it all.
I might be wrong.
The Fraxidus?
I don't remember. Actually,
I don't know much about the Fraxidus, but as an outrider, I've worked on related cases. It's a group of extremists obsessed with fusing humans with tacit discords. They've caused terror attacks of various scales around the world.
Fusing humans and tacit discords.
We've seen signs of their presence in Jinzhou, left by lower-ranked members called artificers. Above the artificers are the overseers, leaders with eerie abilities and unknown intentions. They pose a far bigger threat. No one knows their true intentions. Some members speak of world destruction, while others claim they seek eternal power. And there is one particularly insane overseer. He's crazy even by Fraxidus standards. A man who sees no order and revels in destruction. I've seen similar cards in the physical evidence file of the Fraxidus-related cases. They belong to this one overseer I'm talking about. They call him Scar. If he's responsible for what happened to these villagers, who knows what kind of cruel and twisted atrocities he's capable of?
Guess you won't need my self-introduction. Oh, I spent so much time on it. need to hear it from me, then yes, I am Scar. Cruel and twisted maniac. We deserve a meeting free of such disturbances, don't you agree? The girl, she's gonna sway your judgment. Don't worry, I don't plan to make you hate me just yet. She is safe now. Well, let's just enjoy our time together for the moment. Forget about that irrelevant person, will you? To begin with, I heard you've lost your memories. Indeed. I'll tell you then. Before you knew anything about this world, you were already the center of conflict. You are the unknown variable we've been waiting for. Forces have been fighting for possession over you. From the moment you opened your eyes, everyone you've met, including that girl you care so much about, they all knew how valuable you are. The world is a cruel place. You are a living, breathing person, but you're just a pawn to many. That's why I'm here, because I see you as a dear friend, and I want to tell you the truth. I am so sorry for everything you're about to face. The truth hurts sometimes. You could say I'm looking forward to your choice. My goal is simple. I just want to deepen our mutual understanding, nothing more. Come on. Observe the surroundings a little more and tell me what you see. As you learn more about this world, your true desires will surface, and our little game will become even more entertaining. And before that, I don't want anyone to disturb my precious alone time with you. That's all. Why do you have to assume we are the culprits? Maybe you should be asking me what actually happened here. I won't tell you everything just yet. That's too boring. As I said, why don't you take a look around and see for yourself? So go ahead. What do you see? Bravo! Didn't think you'd catch on to that. Now, what is the conclusion you've drawn? I see you don't really trust those villagers. So they were right about you. You are indeed quite exceptional. I like it. Your keen observation, precise judgment, and accurate understanding of human nature. Let me give you a couple more tips. The truth is far more complicated than you think. First, who are the players in our tale? An innocent girl, a revered leader, and a flock of simple villagers. Next, what makes up our main plot? False devotion, fleeting kindness, collective deceit, senseless killings, and the one vulnerable soul pushed onto a path of destruction by the masses. Now, Rover, the story is yours to spin. I'm eager to hear your version after you've learned more. is it? Are you back for some chit-chat? No. Oh, and don't try to threaten me. You're not in a place to bargain, remember? You don't want to disappoint me so soon, Rover. Huh? What is it? I see. A clever move, unbound by convention. I like it, but I'm not telling you more. Not yet. Wouldn't want our first conversation to become a boring exchange of words, just parroting each other's lines. You don't want to disappoint me so soon, Rover. Our story begins here. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village, lived a flock of carefree lambs. In the day, they toiled for food, and when evening fell, they sought refuge from the looming threat of wolves. Fables, stories told and retold through the ages. The ancient art of conveying hidden truths through fiction. But they always draw from real life, don't they? The same story gets told by many, and each person brings their own spin, their own focus. Whatever you learn from it is just one of countless different interpretations. Like us now, caught in a carefully crafted plotline, a scheme I had no hand in. This village marks the beginning of my story with Jinzhou. So that magistrate led you here to meet me. Such a clever move on her part. One day, a shepherd visited the village. The shepherd brought them promises of abundance and protection. The lambs, drawn in by his words, soon lived in comfort and security. Nope, quite the opposite. The shepherd's arrival is only the beginning. With a wave of his hand, the shepherd could grant their every wish. His flock obeyed, bowing their heads, pleading for better food and shelter. They no longer had to struggle for survival, as their once meager lives were replaced with endless luxury. The flock worshipped their shepherd-turned-god, praising him and holding him in the highest regard. What's wrong? Does my story make you uncomfortable? Imagine you were one of those lambs, facing irresistible temptation and pressure from your peers. Wouldn't you bow down and beg for food from your master? Oh, so we agree already. You are right. But the world we live in falls short of our ideals. The shepherd still reigns, and the lambs have grown complacent. It's up to the two of us to make that ideal world a reality. The lambs reveled in endless bonfire parties, celebrating their new god every night. As each night passed, it was the only one to notice how its flock was dwindling away. Rover, do you think someone would give you what you want without taking anything from you? I once believed that too. Thought as long as I paid a high enough price, I could get my desired outcome. But true equality is scarce, always has been. The world was never a fair place, wouldn't you agree? To receive equal retribution, one must give more and more and more. When every wish comes with a hefty price, people weigh their options carefully. But when they can make someone else bear the price, they all rush to make more wishes. They don't consider they too may one day pay for another's selfish desire. Funny, isn't it? Later, the shepherd openly blamed the black lamb for the flock's decline. On the next day, the white lambs welcomed the rising sun as usual, but the black lamb was nowhere to be found. The shepherd introduced an unspoken rule to this village, one that our black lamb violated by telling the truth. Suddenly, the once doting god stopped fulfilling wishes because no more sacrifices were being made. After witnessing the black lamb's actions and hearing from their almighty shepherd, what do you suppose the white lambs did? Ah, those oblivious lambs. Little did they know the most fearsome demon was right under their noses. Well done. You didn't let any details slip. Now, I wonder, what is your takeaway from this story? Answer me and I'll reveal the truth of what happened. Who was the real culprit behind the diminishing number of lambs? Indeed, the direct culprit was the shepherd. He held all the power, fulfilling wishes at a price. The lambs knew the risks, yet succumbed to temptation. Unfortunately, in the face of such temptation, they disregarded all the hidden risks, as disaster had yet to befall them. If they were given another chance, I believe they would still choose the same path. Inevitably, they accepted their fate and paid the price when their time came. Now, my second question. What price did the lambs pay for their wishes? But that's why they wanted it in the first place. Why would they trade their wealth for a wish when they were risking their lives for it anyway? Here's my final question. What happened to the black lamb? Don't rush, Rover. Take your time. What is the truth you've uncovered?
The shepherd was granting wishes by sacrificing the lives of lambs. The flock never found out about it. They were deceived to believe the black lamb was the culprit.
Almost there, Rover. Little lambs cowered and huddled in their village, terrified of the relentless wolf packs. Until a shepherd arrived, bearing the gift of wishes and providing shelter and sustenance. Slowly, the shepherd gained control over the flock, and the lambs lived contented lives. But this is not the end of our story. The shepherd found a solitary black lamb in his flock and offered to grant any wish it desired. In exchange, he wanted one of its companions as a sacrifice. The black lamb refused, and it was shunned by its flock, left without shelter or sustenance. After the black lamb's exile, more lambs continued to vanish. The shepherd then blamed the black lamb for breaking the rules. He withheld his wish-granting power as punishment. From the very beginning, the lambs knew the risk of making wishes. They too could become sacrifices for those of others. But they always believed it wouldn't be them. Meanwhile, some lambs reasoned that since they had already risked being sacrificed for someone else's wish, it was then only fair to pass on that risk for a chance at fulfilling their own desires. So they continued to play the game. They all knew the consequences, but chose to remain silent. Fearful, yet greedy, they followed the shepherd's orders and made wishes again and again, until one day, a brave black lamb spoke up. shattering the flock's facade, their illusion of a peaceful and happy life. Black lamb on in their way, and that of the shepherd's greedy pursuit, sparking hatred in their hearts. Suddenly, they could no longer ignore the blood and ashes of past sacrifices littering the ground. How do you like my story, Rover? What really happened here? I suppose you already have it figured out? The black lamb who rebelled against the rules, and the white lambs who succumbed to their greed. The innocent maiden sacrificed, and the villagers who turned on each other in a ruthless frenzy. They had it coming. All the shepherd had to do was execute the rebel. That's how he kept the flock in check and maintained the status quo. Fun answer, but no. Not even close. I was never the shepherd. Never will be. You and I, we are the black lamb. The one who breaks the rules. Interesting, Rover. I'm liking you more and more. Well then, let's see if this black lamb is going to end up like you say. Realm of endless chaos. Now is your time to think, Rover. What? Oh, you found us already. Shake and shiver, blink an eye. A flock of lambs comes passing by. Fleece of white, black, and red. Who's the sweetest one ahead? Watch out, my dear. Your pioneers are lying at your feet. Don't look back. Join them on this right path. And don't rush. One slip, and you'll shatter to pieces.
Leave it to me. Speeding up.
Speed? Such brutality! Can't you see? We are kindred spirits after all. Tell me, do you want to be the rule-setting shepherd or the rule-breaking black lamb? If a sane person manages to survive in a realm of lunatics, would you call them the last one of reason or the sole apostle? Think about it. The shepherd is not the preordained embodiment of truth. Once he is gone for good, the black lamb can reclaim the trust of its herd. And eventually, there will be none left to be victims or aggressors.
Don't worry.
Swift and resolute. That
Rover? Rover! I shattered Scar's illusion. That should have injured him.
Oh! Should I thank you for showing me mercy?
Stay away from him!
Didn't you promise to leave me some alone time with Rover?
With one condition. I do hope you haven't let that slip from your mind. Don't let your improvisation trouble others.
Look at you, rushing in to protect your precious, perfect movement. No worries. I know all the do's and don'ts. I don't need you to tell me what to do. Rover, it seems our happy little date must come to an end. But don't forget my sincere reminders. Let me know what you choose. An unexpected gift? An honest and open exchange? The choice is yours. I know how smart you are. You won't make a hasty decision. We'll meet again in the not-too-distant future.
They're gone. Should we go after them? No. Don't worry. I'm okay. Scar's resonance abilities appear to involve teleportation and the manipulation of space. He trapped me in confinement, and I could only sense that it wasn't far from here. It took me some time to break that barrier. Sorry, Rover. If only I could have reached you sooner.
Brother.
Huh? Why are you here, little one? I've never seen any tacit discord display such vivid emotions. The brother had mentioned. Could it be? Yes, that is a possibility, since Scar had been here before. Let's talk about it later. Rover, can you fill me in on what happened? It seems all the tragedies in Tea Tree Village were linked to that ritual. Making up stories based on real life to support his twisted beliefs? That does sound like something he might do. We cannot take his words for granted. Now, we must locate where the ritual took place and see for ourselves. What's the matter? Two distinct frequencies of tacit discords. I see. I can feel it in the streams. Over there. Follow me.
In the south.
They are unharmed. Please rest assured. As you anticipated, Scar did not try to kill them. Yes, I stayed out of it like you asked. Is everything all right on your end? Please be sure to stay safe, my lady.
Rover, do you still have the plaque we found earlier? The one broken in half. Yes, as I thought. I just felt a similar vibration from that direction. Please follow me.
the missing half. We can piece them together now.
Look, the water is going down. I can't believe it. There is such a big opening down here. How odd. This place should have been soaked in water, but everything is dry here. Even the vegetation is thriving. Did Scar do this? Given his powers, it doesn't seem too hard for him. That tree. It's stunning. It's almost eerily enchanting.
Please, save us.
Are you trying to tell us about something hidden here? Where did it go? That girl just wanted to save her village, but those sacrifices didn't lead to redemption. I guess the tacit discord we saw stayed here to convey her last wishes. Please excuse me. It's getting a bit too cold here. Can we head back now? Sorry, Rover. I didn't feel comfortable down there. The air was heavy in that place, without any wind to speak of. But I could still feel so many emotions and desperate cries for help. I couldn't handle it. The villagers were a complex mix of emotions. Hope, resentment, and despair. But as I read the diary, I could feel the intense sorrow and longing of its owner. What was the diary's owner longing for? Was it the peaceful life she once had? Or did she miss her only family? The person who pushed her towards such a tragic end? My apologies. I got lost in thoughts again. I wish I could say such tragedies won't happen again, but I still lack the confidence to make that claim. It was tragedies like this that made me want to become an outrider. To become someone with the strength to stop them from ever happening again. I cannot stop the lament, but at least I should do everything in my power to help those affected by it. Really? Thank you. Dwelling on it won't do us any good. Let's go. I'll compile a report on what happened here and send it in along with the clues we've gathered. Yes, let's go back. Together,